Hey, Kat.
Hey, John.
How's it going?
John, it's great. How
Is
are
it,
you?
Kat? I mean,
it's
I don't
good.
want to... Listen,
Oh,
I trust you, Kat.
yeah. Oh,
Implicitly.
that means a lot to me.
You are my very, very good and longtime friend.
You are mine as well, brother.
Good. So when you say things are good, I believe you.
Thank you. And let me tell you why they're good.
Okay.
And we're going to come back to you. Don't think I've
See,
forgotten.
I thought I might have gotten you into a... Yep, no, I can't. Okay.
I'm alive.
Yes, good.
I'm moderately healthy.
Right.
And I get to have the next hour with you. So, yeah,
Yay.
John, I'd say things are pretty good.
I feel like there are a lot more things that might be making your life good than just those.
Well, I don't know.
It's possible. I don't know.
Pretty top of the list. How
Well,
are
good.
you, John?
I am also above ground, and I am also excited to spend an hour talking to my good friend Kat after like some time of not having done that.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, indeed,
good.
as the
See?
kids say.
That's what they say.
They do.
Well, there you go, John.
Yeah, there I do. I'm
Things
going.
are
Look at me
good.
go.
Things are good.
Things are
Things. When I say things are good, what I mean is things could be worse.
That's what we're talking about. Things could be worse. They'll probably get there, but we're not there yet.
No, let's celebrate until they are.
Woohoo! Yeah. So, what is it that you'd say that we're doing here, Kat?
Well, John, we are recording a podcast.
Yes, we are. Accurate.
It's called My Mistake.
It is called that.
It features you and I.
I think you'll find, Kat, that it features you and me.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay.
You know that's my kryptonite. I always have that one
And
up.
now my night is ruined. Just kidding. You are John. I am Kat.
That's correct. Both cases.
This is My Mistake.
Yeah, it is. Huzzah! Here we are.
Huzzah. Welcome. If you're new,
Bienvenue.
Mazel tov for finding a fantastic podcast.
I know, right? You have no idea how lucky you are.
You are so lucky to be here.
Yep. McClunky.
McClunky.
That's a little cheers thing that I do when I'm drinking out of my Greedo.
I love that about
Mug.
you.
Thank you.
That is for all those deep, deep cut Star Wars fans.
That's right. If you know McClunky, then you probably know who shot first.
Hashtag McClunky.
McClunky. Yep.
Anyway, so here we are. We haven't recorded in a little bit.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, as the kids
we've
say.
declared. Yeah.
And it's so good to see you, John.
It's good to see you too. It's good. It's good to see anybody, but it's really good to see you. So yeah. Because I don't know. I discovered something recently, Kat.
Oh.
That's that. When you sync all of your socialization into work, and then there's sudden changes at work, it's sort of messed up. Like it's sort of like, oh, I feel like things just changed for me, and then also they changed for me in another way.
Well, that sucks.
Well, it does. It does. I'm looking forward to warmer weather and outdoor activities.
I feel you.
I've decided at least once in the next couple of months, I'm gonna ask you to get on your bike and we're gonna go for a bike ride.
Oh shit!
Like a bike ride, like a kid's bike ride, not like a.
Okay.
We're gonna be like, yeah. I don't.
No.
Yeah. No.
So not like a Leah bike ride.
No.
More like a Stranger Things kind of bike
Right.
ride.
There have been bike rides that I have gone on with Leah, your spouse, to whom you are married.
I'm married to Leah. She's my wife.
You have done marriage to her. And she and I have engaged in the not going on a bike ride, like a fun bike ride. We went on let's ride up what seems like a mountain.
Yeah,
Bike ride.
you guys did a century together.
We did do a century, the only century that I have ever done. And for those of you who don't know, that means you dress up in spandex, and then you get on a velocipede and you go for 100 miles in a single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that once.
You did that.
I did. I was probably not in that much better shape than I am now, and it's amazing to me. Oh, what are you saying? I've fallen away?
Never
Is that
mind.
like,
Nope,
yeah,
not.
oh,
There's no good way to respond to that.
There
so.
isn't, and it was
I'm letting
a
it go.
beautiful trap that I just set.
You're
Fell
so
right
good at
into
those.
it.
Okay, great. I'm down for a bike ride. A hour speed bike ride.
Yeah, like a fairly, not a lot of climb. Take our time. I like it.
Well, I mean, let me pitch something to you.
Uh-oh.
At the end of my street, just down there, is a bike path.
I've heard of this bike path. I may even have existed upon it at one time.
I know you have. And, along that path, there's, if you turn off a certain street or two, there's a bar.
Do they have a patio cat at this bar?
Oh, John, they have such a patio.
Nice. I like it. I'm in.
I'm just saying, we could even go, for like a bar crawl on our bikes.
I am all about bars with outdoor patios. This is good. This is good. This needs to happen because,
This is so happening. You know what would be fun? Oh, okay. I just had an idea.
Uh-oh.
We'll record.
I like it. That way we can write it off on our taxes. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But no, we can write it off in our wives' minds of like, this is for the podcast.
Could do that.
Yeah.
Could totally do that. All right.
Well, let's
pencil that in. Mm-hmm.
pencil that in. Make that happen. Our producer will make the arrangements.
That's right. Anne, thank you.
Thank you. That would be so much fun. Okay, we're gonna do it.
Okay. I like producer Anne, even though technically she's not a producer. She's an editrix, but I like producer.
I do. I wish she would do more of it. I wish she really was our producer. Mm-hmm. That would be great.
It would be awesome to have somebody to do the research for our hysterical storks. That would be the best.
To like book guests and stuff. That'd be great.
Oh, booking guests. Yes. God, remember how easy it was when we just had people come on and tell stories?
Yeah.
And we just
especially when it was like pandemic and no one had anything going on.
That's right. Woo! So, Kat, what kind of podcast are we doing tonight?
Well, John.
The clues have already been sent out.
Here's what's fun. Mm-hmm. You and I haven't talked about tonight, other than like, hey, can you record tonight? Great.
Right.
And so now we're kind of in real time figuring it out. I think it's a shit shooter.
I think it is too.
Okay, good. Because otherwise I've missed I've missed the message.
Yeah, I don't have any real prepared content here.
Well, we're shooting some shit. Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
We have emails, John.
We do have emails.
This is a stacked episode.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we'll do a little emails. We'll, you and I will get a little caught up because there might be a mistake somewhere in our daily lives that we don't know about.
It's possible. I mean, I make many.
I mean, it's kind of my thing.
It's kind of our thing, really, when it comes right down to it.
So then, here we are. So again, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, I hope you like it. Also, you should go back, dip into our back catalog.
Right.
And I'd say in the first, if you like scroll to the very beginning, maybe the first 10 or so episodes, you're going to learn a lot about John and I, some very personal, embarrassing, and funny stories.
Yeah, actually, John and me. But...
God damn it. Why are you like this, John?
Why am I like this? I don't know. I'm trying to get better at it for me because I make that mistake a lot.
Listen, it's who you are, and I love you,
I'm
so I have to love all of that.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah, I have to love all that you are, so I guess I love it when you correct me. I love it.
I can tell by the look on your face as you tell that to the listeners.
I love it.
Yes. But there are lots of things that you can learn about Kat and me from our earlier episodes.
Yes.
Essentially, here's the trick. Because I recently went through and made sure that all of our episodes were numbered correctly.
Oh my God, you did.
I did.
It was a lot of work.
It was a ridiculous amount of work for something that should have been able to be done.
Can you do that for my other podcast?
No, I cannot, Kat.
Okay.
Not until someone comes on our podcast and tells us some stories.
That's on me. That's on me.
All right, fine.
I'll text him later.
Okay. But in any case, so what that means is if there's a number next to the episode of the podcast, that means it's original. It's totally new. Occasionally, we have to do certified pre-owned content because we are only humans, and also nobody pays us to do this. So other things occasionally take priority. I'm pretty impressed with us that we are approaching 200 episodes at this point.
Can we just take a moment to give ourselves a bit of a round of applause for that? It's incredible. Because you've done this incredible thing and we have a good idea of how many original episodes we've recorded, what number are we coming in at around-ish?
I should have anticipated that question, Kat.
You can ish it.
No, I'm not going to ish it. I'm gonna give you a real, absolute, bona fide answer. And
exciting.
I know, right? It's going to be great. You won't even believe how great it's going to be.
I already can't believe it.
It's going to be like a perfect number.
Just like a total number, like an actual number.
Like an actual number in the 3-digit range. And that
John. Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to vamp for you. No, I was vamping.
Okay. That number is, we have, including this episode, we will have done 185 original episodes.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew.
So.
It's a lot of episodes.
You're welcome, mistakers.
We're a little angry tonight, John.
Are we? I mean, I feel like I've been angry for 4 months and I want to stop.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I want to
well,
stop.
That's fair.
Okay. I mean, I haven't always been angry. Sometimes I'm sad.
Oh, Jesus. Oh no. Well, if you go back and listen to our early stuff, we're very different people than we are now. We're very we have not a care in the world compared to what we know today. So much.
Like we were so excited, and I'm still excited to do this. But back then, I think we were both excited because A, we got to hang out.
Yeah.
B, we got to eat Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
And C, we got to drink Greyhounds.
We drank a lot. Yeah.
And we did. And also we were going to be rich and famous podcast stars for sure. Yeah. Right.
We didn't know no better, John.
Nope. I've mentioned it on here a few times in the past, and I you may remember. Do you know, Kat, what the average number of episodes of a podcast is in this day and age?
I think it's 6.
It is 6. Most podcasts never make a 7th episode.
Oh, so sad.
Schmucks.
We have such chips tonight, John. There are these chips, and they're on our shoulders.
And I don't know. I thought you meant like I got a stack of chips in front of me. I'm like, I'm all in.
Yeah,
baby.
that's what I meant.
That's what you meant. Yeah, no, it's there. Yeah.
So no, I mean, damn,
Yeah. 185 episodes over 3 years.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. We are devoted to you, the listener.
Hopelessly devoted.
Can I at least be Danny Zuko? I mean, I don't like.
Yeah, that's fine.
You could be Rizzo, maybe.
Why would I be Rizzo, John? Why can't I be Sandra D?
You could be Sandra D.
Interesting.
I was typecasting. I'm sorry. Rizzo's the strong female lead in that.
She is, but she's very sensitive. She has a heart. Does she not bleed?
She does if you prick her.
Okay. Well,
which Kaneki did apparently. And there was a problem. Because Kat, a hickey from Kaneki is like a Hallmark card. When you care enough to send the very best.
That's what they say.
That's what Kaneki says anyway.
Boy, kids are going to love that reference.
Yeah, they're not going to have any idea what that's about, and that is fine.
Anyway,
do you watch Bob's Burgers, Kat?
I don't, and I know that I should. I've seen it, but I wouldn't say I'm a watcher of it.
We are huge fans of the Belchers around this household, and that's the name of the family that runs Bob's Burgers. And there was, I just want to say, there was a restaurant in it recently that was featured, and it was a Greek diner, and it was called Grease, TOO. Grease 2.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, which, as we all know, is so far superior to the original Grease.
Do we all know that?
And we don't know that. That is not true.
Well, listen, I know one of our listeners is going to be really mad when I say that Grease 2 is a pile of crap compared to the original.
It is. Although I will say the song reproduction does get honorable mention from me.
Okay.
Like it's
that's fair.
in which the actors in the movie pose as ova and sperm. And,
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe I need to watch
fertilize each other. It's a very sexy movie, Kat.
Oh, it's very, very sexy.
It's
All right.
very sexy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, good.
I know that Bob's Burgers is featured. Tina Belcher, right, is the daughter? Is one of the
Yes.
daughters.
That's a sound that Tina might make.
Oh God! I was like, oh no, Zoom is going down, baby. That was scary, John. I was like, oh fuck again.
It's pure fry.
John,
Pure
did you
vocal
know
fry.
that there's a Sleater-Kinney video that it takes place in the Bob's Burgers world featuring
Yes.
Tina Belcher? Yeah.
Yes. They surprisingly, I think, what do they call it? Like the Bob's Burgers, I don't know. What there are a lot of songs that they have on there. And there's like there's a Thanksgiving special where it's called Gravy Boat is the name of the song. And The National performed a full-length version of Gravy Boat.
So whoever's running that show is like a huge indie music fan, clearly.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So check
got
that
cred.
out. They got cred.
Yeah. Totes. Yeah. So, Kat, you just traveled recently. You went to a place from this place,
I did do that.
and then you came back to this place.
That is true.
Yeah.
That sums that up.
Okay, maybe it does.
No. I flew.
Okay.
I flew to a state that's not California. I went to Texas.
Brave in this day and age. They might make you have a child if you go to Texas. I'm just saying.
I was very careful to not have a child, John.
Well, they can force you.
I know. I avoided any sort of situation where the result could be a child.
Sure. Okay. Good. I think you've been doing that really successfully for quite some time. Kat.
I mean, it feels like my whole life. I'm really good at it. So I did that. So I did some traveling. I went on an airline that rhymes with Smearit.
Okay. Oh, wow. I might have advised you against that, but that's me. I haven't been on a plane in 4 years. So.
I know. Surprisingly, fine. No problem.
Sweet.
It was okay. It was fine. No big deal. Actually, that was coming home.
Okay.
I did Smearit. On the way there, I think it was a Schmerican Airlines.
Got it.
And that was fine too. But I think I texted this to you. I think I started my day, from the airport, like leaving my home and getting to my destination into a rental car. I think there was 3 sirs. I got 3 sirs.
Oh boy, yeah. Yep.
Only one of them was in Texas, but I think they were a lesbian, so that counts as like 2. I feel
Wow.
like.
Yeah.
So maybe I had 4.
It's like we go to the same church. What's up?
What's up? Like, what's up, man? So anyways, not how you want to start your trip.
No.
But it was fine. I'm trying to think, is there anything out of the ordinary or worth kind of mistaking about? Not really.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty much
Just a. Hey, that's good.
I know, right?
That's
That's
the
what
way
you
normal
want.
people live. I think.
That's what
Maybe.
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Traveling especially. You don't want like an oops moment when you're at 35,000 feet.
No.
No.
You don't.
Nope.
That's the last thing you want.
It is. Pretty much.
I'm trying to think. Do I have anything? I mean,
It's a big sigh, Kat.
I know. I'm known for my size, apparently. My Prius, I've had some Prius issues.
Oh, you have had some Prius
Yeah.
issues. I understood that you had finally made some decisions about some protection. I'm glad you're using protection, Kat.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, here's the good news, John.
Okay.
Last week, I paid off my car.
Hey,
I made
that's
the last,
awesome.
I made the last payment. Mm-hmm. It's mine. It's my problem now.
Let me ask you: is this the first new car that you've paid off yourself and own?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
The first car I ever drove was a family car. It was my dad's old Oldsmobile. I think I've
Right.
talked about it on this fine podcast of ours.
Yeah, was it a black Jeep that came next?
It did. Next was a 1995 Jeep Cherokee,
Oh,
bare
Cherokee.
bones.
Okay.
There was no rack. It was a very just like as basic as it comes, and I loved that car.
It didn't stop you from being the hot rod girl, though.
You're damn right.
That's right.
I loved the fuck out of that car. Did I ever tell you that the door came off of that car?
No. Tell me about that, Kat.
Well, okay. I had driven the car over to my secret girlfriend, Sarah's house,
Sarah.
and they had a driveway. You drive up to the driveway, and then they had like a brick. Her dad was a mason. He was a masonry guy. Like, he was all about cement and bricks.
Okay.
And so he had built that house from scratch. And so he had built like these steps going up to the house from the driveway, and like, sort of like this brick sort of pillar thing that would denote the stairway.
Right.
And so I pulled into their house, and I forgot to put my car into park, John.
Oh.
And so I turned off the ignition, and
It's
the
a
car,
rookie mistake, and you hate to see it.
the door was open. I rolled back, and the car door kind of got caught on that pillar and got bent a bit. Mm-hmm. And so then for the next maybe year or so, every time, unbeknownst to me, probably should have guessed, every time I open and close that door, it's like the hinges were slowly getting worn, compromised, so that eventually I was leaving my house one day, and I opened the door, and it just came right off.
Sure. I've told at least part of this story before, but my first car was a 1969 green VW Beetle.
Okay.
And I would drive it through Indiana in the wintertime, and there was a hole in the floorboard, and it would scoop up the snow.
Oh my God.
And the previous owners had affixed basically AstroTurf to the floor. All weather carpeting is what they like to call it, but it's freaking AstroTurf.
Okay.
So it just basically would hump up where it would scoop up the snow. And as the hole got bigger, the hump got bigger. And eventually it broke through the carpet one time and was like up the level of my seat. So I had like a mound of snow under there. And then, surprise, surprise, one day when I backed down the driveway, which was on the only hill in Indiana, the engine fell out of the bottom of the car.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's what happens. And it was fun because
that's a problem.
Yeah. On a VW Bug, as you may know, the engine is in the back. So it actually wedged the car there, so that they had to basically bring like a winch.
You couldn't move the car.
Couldn't move the car, and so nobody else could come home or leave.
Sure, yeah.
We were all stuck in that state until the tow truck came and just took it away.
We were all stuck in the state of your huge problem.
Yep, and I never saw Esmeralda again.
Oh.
I know, it's sad.
What color was she?
Green.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So eventually I drove that car into the ground.
Yep.
And then I got another family car. It was my mom's old Mountaineer, which is basically a Ford Explorer. They don't tell you that, but that's what it is.
It's Is it a higher end or lower end Explorer, or was it just pre-Explorer?
No, I would say it's actually kind of higher end.
Okay,
Leather interior,
I like it.
all the electric stuff. It was a nice car. It was a good car. And I drove that into the ground. Actually, I sold that car to someone, and I would periodically see it driving around town. I was like, oh, that's my old car. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. That's the thing. We sold Michelle's old car to a neighbor, and up until very recently, we would see it parked in different places.
It's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun. It's funny because like when she got that car very shortly after we met, and things happened in that car. I'm just saying.
Like what kind of things?
I mean, I don't know, like financial transactions. You know,
Is that what you guys called it?
no, that's not what we call it. But no, it's just weird. It's like, oh, there's a car that's over there that I have intimate history with.
My DNA is in that car.
Maybe. I hope not. Because it's like we sold it to the neighbor and they gave it to their like 17-year-old kid. So
I mean,
that kid is doing stuff in that car now. It's fine.
I forgot there was a Ford Taurus in there too.
Oh, yeah.
I had a Ford Taurus. Between the Jeep and the Mountaineer, I got all the family cars.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I decided I was working at a prop house. This was in the mid-aughts, I guess.
Okay.
This is after. Yeah, this is the mid-aughts. No, that's not true. 2010. Doesn't matter. What matters is I was like, okay, I'm working at this dead-end job. I want to work in TV. I think I should be a writer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drive Uber and write scripts.
Okay.
I've figured it out, John. This is the formula that is going to make me successful in Hollywood.
The best part is you can drive Uber and write scripts at the same time.
Same time.
if you're not too worried about getting into accidents.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, great. I'm going to buy myself a Prius because like it'll, good for the gas. It won't be as expensive driving around for Uber and Lyft all day. So I went through the process. I became a Lyft and Uber driver. And the plan was I was going to quit my job at the prop house.
Okay.
Once the car was secured and everything was ready to go. I was going to say it's sayonara.
Right. That's
and move on.
Japanese for goodbye.
Thank you for that. And in the meantime, I ended up getting a job at a production office for 2 weeks. So I did drive Uber, and I didn't like it. It was actually a horrible idea for someone who doesn't like people.
Hey, you're an introvert. Let's put a different person in your car every 15 minutes for the whole day, and then maybe stay up all night doing that too.
It was really bad. There was one call that I got, or one ride that I picked up. I ended up picking up this dude in a very sort of industrial part of North Hollywood.
Okay.
It was maybe 10 o'clock at night. This is like a nightmare scenario.
Yeah. One might even ask why you took the fare.
It was like, okay, this is my last call tonight. After this, I'm going home. I've had enough. And of course, I end up in this horrible part of North Hollywood. I mean, listen, let's be fair. North Hollywood's not great generally.
There are pockets of North Hollywood that are just delightful. Okay.
Very small pockets, John.
I'm just saying.
It's like,
That's
you
why
know
we
how
call them
there's
pockets.
there's when your jeans, you have a pocket, a
You have
main
the coin
pocket,
pocket
and then there's
inside
the
the pocket.
coin pocket. There's a coin pocket of good areas in North Hollywood.
Agreed.
Everything else is not great.
Okay.
And I can say that because I lived there for quite some time.
That's true. You did.
So I ended up picking up this last call in the middle of industrial North Hollywood. And he gets in the front seat. This is like a, middle-aged, very kind of not a guy you want to pick up in North Hollywood at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And the fun part, John, he didn't speak any English. He spoke Russian.
Oh boy.
So he's like pointing at his phone, being like, I'm not going to do a Russian accent because that would be
But
insulting.
they're the enemy right now, so we can do that. No? I thought that was how Americans worked.
He was pointing his phone, going like, I want to go here. This is where I'm going. And all I saw was him pointing his phone, saying words that I didn't understand. I'm like, okay. So he sits down next to me. And I'm like, this is how I die. I'm like, well, I've had a good run, So we're driving, and we get to a place in North Hollywood where I don't know where I am. Like I've lost track. I've never been here before. all of a sudden, and now I know where we were, but like there's like open fields, like there's like, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is perfect, a perfect place to kill somebody like me.
Sure.
And we pull up to where we're going. He gets out. He was actually a very delightful man, and someone was there waiting for him who could speak English. Like, thank you so much for getting him here. We really appreciate it. He was delightful. It was a fine thing.
Nice.
But in my mind, it's like, oh, okay, that could have gone a different way. I don't ever want to do this again.
There you go.
I'd stopped driving at night. That was the end of the night driving.
Yeah.
Never again. Anyway, ended up getting a job. Didn't need to drive Uber anymore. Thank fucking God.
Right.
So that was the end of that. But I bought this Prius, and I paid it off, John. It's the first car I've actually owned myself that wasn't a hand-me-down or bought for me by my family. I have lived a very privileged life, John. I don't know if I mentioned that before.
We both have. I certainly more than you. But one thing I'm curious. You said you bought it in 2010.
2015.
Oh, 2015.
Oh, you're right. Well, I was trying to figure out when it was, because it was after.
Because you were saying mid-aughts, but then no.
It was after my failed t-shirt company.
Oh, okay.
After I rode that into the ground. I had gone back to work at the prop house where I had left originally because I went to go on and do other things. I came back with my tail between my legs, John. They took me back.
And they said, Ohayo gozaimasu.
They did.
Yes. Which
They
is
did
Japanese
indeed.
for hello and
Hello.
good day.
And good day. I think it's good morning too, right?
It's probably
Which is
good
funny
morning, sure.
because there's a very cool Japanese guy that worked there. His name was Seiji Kobayashi. Shout out to Seiji. How you doing, bud?
What up, Seiji?
Good dude. Anyway, so I was there for a couple of years, and then I bought the car new. So it was definitely 2015 because that's the year my car is. It was a brand new car.
Right. Yeah. My Prius, I bought in 2008. It's super old, and it's sitting out in front of the house, and I haven't had the guts to go and check to see if it was just run out of gas. And that was why it stopped running in the middle of an intersection for me. But
Which you can learn all about. Was
by
it
listening to
2 episodes ago, maybe?
maybe 3, maybe 2. You know what? I just had that up. Let me give you another definitive answer. This is like a record for definitive answers that
Probably
I've given you.
3, because there was a encore presentation last week,
Right.
and then you did a hysterical mistake like before that.
I did right before that, and I think it was the one before that, which is episode 183, Too Close for Goats.
That's a great title.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to listen to an episode called Too Close for Goats?
Who?
Who? No, that's owls, cat.
Shut
Goats
up.
are more like, bah,
My
bah.
bad. Thank you for correcting me again.
That wasn't even a correction. That was an attempt at humor, which failed miserably.
No, I think you nailed it.
Yeah? Okay.
So last week, I tried to start my Prius. My car sat in the driveway for about a week
Right.
without being used. So it just
Well,
kind of
you're in
sat there.
Tejas.
Yeah. And so I get in the car, and she don't start. She ain't starting. It's not turning over.
Okay.
And the battery's dead, from what I can deduce.
The big battery. Yeah. Or actually, the starter. Yeah.
A battery is dead.
A battery is dead. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to let you fill in the details.
So I called the old AAA.
Right.
You know, they luckily I'm at home. Could be worse, right? It could be somewhere in like an intersection.
in the middle of an
or
intersection
something.
in Canoga Park. Yeah.
So I'm waiting outside. It was nighttime for this AAA guy to show up. He zooms up, hops out of the car. Hi, sir. How can I help you tonight?
God damn it.
I'm like, well, I'm getting better at this. I'm like, actually, it's ma'am. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. And he actually was like genuinely sorry.
Right.
Typical, I hate to put people in pigeonholes here, but he's typical AAA guy. Like, he's like a truck guy. You know,
Sure.
he's got the goatee. He's like, kind of looks like a AAA car guy.
Okay.
Turns out, nicest dude in the world.
That often happens with truck guys. It
yes.
can go the other way.
It
but
could. I was like, well, it was not a great start, but it was a delightful encounter. So he was genuinely sorry.
Yep.
And then we bonded, I feel like.
He hadn't read the article that says, don't apologize, just say thank you for correcting me and move on.
Exactly. And that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it was, in fact, the starter battery. So that's good news.
Right. It
So
is,
you
because
don't-
that's the little one.
Yeah. If you don't know, if you're not a Prius owner, as soon as you take your Prius off the lot, or if you buy it off of somebody, the clock is ticking until your hybrid battery dies, and that's like kind of you're fucked. It's thousands and thousands of dollars to replace that battery.
Wow, I hate to correct you, Kat. I
Why?
really do. Because that's kind of an urban legend that only applies to the first generation Prius.
Really?
Ever since the second generation Prius, rather than one giant hybrid battery, it's made up
they're
of
like cells?
individual cells.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So one can go bad at a time, and it's rarely going to cost you, if you go to a reputable place, it's really going to cost you more than $100 to get a cell replaced. Like
Really?
I think it was even $50 back in the
Why
day.
why haven't you told me this sooner, John?
Because it apparently has not come up, my fellow Prius owner. But yeah,
Well, I'm so glad you corrected me for a fourth time tonight.
I know, right? I mean, let's go. We're beyond the trifecta. It's the fourfecta, the quadfecta. I don't know how that works, but
Well, I was still living in a world where I thought it could be a very big problem.
right. People who are anti-hybrid or anti-Prius, they will tell that, oh, well, after 5 years, or maybe if you're lucky, you get 10, and then your battery, you have to replace it. And it costs $5,000. That was what I heard when I bought mine too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's total bullshit.
Oh, all right. Well, phew, good to know.
Woo.
Anyway,
Yeah.
starter battery.
Yep.
He gave me some bad advice. He's like, well, it's all good. Just, he's like, I'll give you a jump, but it's probably not going to start in the morning. What we should do is maybe, we'll give you a start. What I would do is turn the car around and back it back in so you can jump it again, or someone else can jump it. And then you should go to the dealership and have them replace the battery.
Right.
And I was in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to a dealership. Like they're gonna charge an unnecessary amount of money to change this battery.
I actually had to do this very same thing. I went to freaking AutoZone, I think it was, or maybe O'Reilly's, and like just picked up that battery for a small amount and replaced it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So we have a great mechanic that we love so much. I called him ahead of time. He said, "Yeah, I got the battery in stock. Come on."
I gotta find out who that guy is. Or
He
gal.
is great, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
He's great. He's
Okay.
the best. And so I did that today. I went over. I called AAA again. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
So they came. This guy was great. He didn't misgender me.
Nice.
But another car guy, and he's like, yeah, he's like, if I were you, I would go immediately to. I'm like, oh, I'm going like straight to my mechanic. He's like, yeah, and don't go to a dealership because they'll rip you off. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh yeah. No, that'd be
I
like $800 later for your $50 battery.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So it all worked out, but it was just really fun timing that like the day after I paid the car off is when it wouldn't start.
It's a little on the nose, Prius. Come on.
It really is.
Yeah.
So there you
yeah.
go.
No, that's what happens. I've had this car forever and I love this car, but I may be getting rid of this car soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just one thing after another recently. That's what happens with old cars.
Of
But,
course.
Yeah. Like old hybrids are a new thing. So
It's true, right?
it is true.
I mean, I know that there's a lot of issues with it, but it might, somebody might want that car.
Oh, somebody will, because my car's a 2008. I went online to look, because I'm like, all right, maybe I'll buy, a new car. And then I saw the prices for new cars. And I'm like, all right, maybe I'll buy a used car, which I've never done because I've like, ever since I could afford to buy a new car, I've been like, I'm only buying new cars. Then I drive them till the doors fall off, right?
Right.
Oh, in
Yeah.
your case,
Hey.
that would have been...
I know what that's like.
But so then I went and I looked at used cars, and there was a car that was, I think it was a 2010, so 2 years younger than my car, for sale for $26,000. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because way back in 2008, when I bought that brand new Prius, it was $29,000. That was
Right.
the sticker price. And I'm like, and I took 6 years to pay it off, but it happened. But yeah, that was crazy. I was like, "Are you like? Now is not the time to buy a new car."
It's not.
Yeah, I advise everyone to not, if you can,
Don't do it.
just don't do that.
Cars.
Cars for kids. 1-877. No,
Cars.
we're not doing it.
No, we shouldn't do that.
Nope.
They
Nope.
are not a sponsor.
They are not, and I don't even know if I could accept their sponsorship. I mean, I'd have to see the color of their money, but it would be a thing.
Oh, it's terrible. Google, anybody out there who doesn't know what that is, Google it. Cars for Kid. Cars with a K.
Yep.
You'll be sorry that you did.
You will, because you'll not be able to get it out of your head. It may be worse than Baby Shark. I don't even know.
It's up there.
It's up there. Yep.
It's up there.
Kat, I think we're at the point in the podcast where
Yeah?
we would probably be best served to read some listener mail.
Let's do it.
All right. So we have not, as Kat
Alright.
said, we're working this out on the fly.
Yeah, that's how we
So-
do.
Yep. So who do you think should read this first one if we're going from the earliest? I should state also that this email came in on January 22nd. So almost 2 full months ago, and that's just because we either we had prepared content, so didn't have time for the mail, or we had some pre-owned content.
Hey, listen, we can do what we want.
We can do whatever we want. We
Yeah.
owe nobody on this. No.
We don't.
We don't. It's true.
Okay, I'm gonna read. I think I'm gonna read this first one.
You read the first one. Let's hear it.
Okay, it's from Beck,
Hey, Beck.
and as usual, there's no subject because Beck don't have time for that.
Nope.
And Beck says, "Sup,
What's up?
sup, Beck. Get the Aussies to bring you back some shapes. Pizza is the superior flavor." By the way, did you get Olivia, a friend of this podcast, Olivia and her delightful husband,
One of the
Kitch.
Aussies who are asked.
Correct. She recently went back to the motherland.
Indeed.
She brought back some things. Did you get your Tim Tams?
I did not.
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Me neither.
Okay. I was told that they were going to be shipped, and then I immediately got on a plan of okay, I need to have something to ship back. So I'm kind of glad that we haven't received them yet, because I haven't really been on top of that. We need to ship something back.
Well, there you go.
All right, right.
So yeah, we are on a Tim Tam watch 2023. So far, nil. Okay.
I think they ate them.
It's possible.
Next time we talk to him, we can ask an Aussie, did you eat the Tim Tams that you brought back for us?
That's the only question. So back to Beck's email.
Shapes,
Pizza is the superior flavor, followed by barbecue and nacho cheese. They're so good. I'll easily smash a box on my own in one sitting without sharing a single shape with either child. I'm guessing it's like a chip. It's got to be like a chip, right?
I'm thinking it's a chip. It's chippish,
It's chippish.
crispish,
You should also request Milo. Pro tip, don't follow the instructions on the tin. It says to use teaspoons, but you need heaped tablespoons. Write that down.
I think she did that.
She already did, yeah.
She wrote it down for us.
When I say heaped, I mean heaped. I believe a cold Milo is far better than a hot one. If you take a cold one, not all the Milo dissolves, so you get a layer of it on top that you just scoop out and munch on. I think it's like a chocolate milk situation. I think
I'm
that's what Milo
guessing.
is. Yeah.
We could Google it, but again, we read these cold as a rule.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So really have no idea what she's talking about.
Nope.
So good. And if you do make a hot one, don't use water. Make it with warm milk instead. It's way better. Also, if you have a hot one, use your already requested Tim Tams to have a Tim Tam Slam.
Wow.
Have you had one of these, John?
I have not.
Okay,
Because
well,
I don't know
I've
what a
actually
Milo
had-
is, and I've only had Tim Tams one time in my life. So
So I have had a Tim Tam Slam, but with milk and not with Milo. So clearly I've been doing it wrong. Beg? It's Beck, and she continues. That's where you bite off opposing corners from the top and bottom and use a Tim Tam as a straw. It's the best.
Do you know I do that with Thin Mints? Like
Oh.
I put them in the freezer and then bite off one end and then bite the other end and use them as a straw, and
Brilliant.
it's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. But is the beverage warm?
Well, no, that's milk
When you do it.
usually. Although I have done it
'cause-
with tea, I suppose.
Because it's like an explosion, a warm explosion in your mouth. Anyways, no comments. After my failed,
I
John's
am
head's
gobsmacked.
exploding.
I
I
just
know.
want to, yeah, I like, what? Okay.
after my failed alcohol gift box, I had every intention of making a snack one instead. Okay, tell me more. However, I didn't get past the idea stage. God damn it, Beck.
There's a lot of things Tim Tams not being shipped.
That's a lot.
I'm just kidding. I did nothing to deserve Tim Tams, so I cannot be angry that I don't have Tim Tams.
I know. Beck continues, this one's way riskier for me to put together. I mean, beer needs to be cold for me to drink it, so there wasn't a risk of me just drinking it all, but snacks can be room temp. If I'm going to be bringing my favorite snacks into my house, you best believe said snacks are going into my tum-tum. That's adorable. Mm-hmm. So getting someone else to source them for you will work out great. Thanks, Beck.
Thanks, Beck.
Finally, you guys need to show some damn respect to Vegemite. Everyone outside of Australia is so quick to say how gross it is. It's not gross. You just aren't doing it right. You don't put it on thick. I've seen many a non-Australian spread their toast with way too much Vegemite. It's a salty spread. You only need a small amount. Lots of butter, a little bit of Vegemite. Keep the disrespect in check. Love you guys, Beck.
Okay. I want to address that last part.
Okay.
Because here's the
Please.
thing. Lots of people don't like lots of foods. I don't.
That's fair.
Right? But it is interesting where certain foods are tribal, right? Like it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm Australian. If you say Vegemite sucks, then you hate Australia. And it's like, that is
Right.
not true at all. I am fascinated by so many aspects of Australia. I would love to go to Australia one day, but I don't like Vegemite. And like, if you spread it 1 micron thin on the toast, I probably wouldn't taste it that much, and that would definitely be best for me.
That's true. The key to liking this food is to taste very little of
As
it.
little of it as
apparently.
possible. And I
Yeah.
think Beck made that very clear. Like, use this very small amount because it's awful, and you can tolerate it better if you just use a little bit. But I mean no disrespect to anything but
clearly.
Vegemite.
Well, here's what I think needs to happen, John.
Yeah.
I think we have we should record. We should start recording live episodes,
Okay.
and I think one of those
I
should
thought
be.
we are recording. Every episode we record
Sorry,
is
I meant
live
in
to
person.
us.
I meant in person.
Yes.
Live and in person. Real life.
I'm a fan of that. Yes.
Yes. And I think we should have the Australians be a part of one of those.
For shiz.
I think we do a live.
Maybe they
taste
could
test.
deliver the freaking Tim Tams at
Well,
that time.
Maybe, but also they can prepare the Vegemite toast for us.
At the optimal thickness of spread.
Yeah, and then we'll give our honest opinions to the way Beck thinks it should be prepared.
Right. And I'll be honest, it's been a long time since I've had Vegemite. My taste buds may have changed. I may think it's the greatest thing ever now. I doubt it
might.
because it was ass on toast when I had it last time. And I mean no disrespect to Australians or Australia, just Vegemite. To be fair, Vegemite came about as a ration food. It exists as the pieces of vegetables that you don't normally eat were like pureed and then mashed together in oil, and that's your Vegemite. That was during the war that happened. It's much like soul food, where American. I'm trying to think of the current word for people who didn't have their own freedom. Enslaved people. That's it. American enslaved people were given the worst parts, what were considered the worst parts of the animal.
Right.
They made great things out of that to the point where now that's what I'd rather eat than any of
Exactly.
the
They
any of
made
the other
magic.
stuff. Yeah. Yep. Haggis, same thing. in
Well, I
Scotland.
mean, that's a hard pass.
I mean, there you go. These were all things made during times of privation. Only soul food stands the test of time.
Soul food wins.
Yes.
So I think that's what we do. That sounds like a fun thing, and we
like
can
it.
ask an Aussie in person.
I like it a lot.
Can ask an Aussie to make us some Vegemite toast.
Yep. I love it. It's going to happen. All right. I think we should move on to our
Let's-
next email.
Let's do it.
All right. And this email is from Master Chief Jen.
That's Jeep.
Master Chief. All right. And Master Chief titled this, and again, this is very old. It's from January 26th.
Oh my God.
Sometime back. I know, right? We've been so remiss. The title of this email is Barb, Blackjack, and Boo-Boos of Imbibing. I want to thank you for all the alliteration, Master Chief. It's pretty awesome. Master Chief Jen says, Hi, Kat. Hi, John. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen. Figured I'd add that last in just in case. I think, Anne is
fair.
definitely a part of the My Mistake family.
She
There's
is.
no question. So never refrain from mentioning her. Yeah. How are all of you? I think we've established how we are. Anne can put that in. Anne, how are you? Insert audio clip here. Jen says, I'm well, thanks.
Oh, good.
The new year is off to a decent start. Today, I had actually planned to email you, so I'm not blowing anything off this time.
Nice.
Is it bad that I'm a little disappointed?
I know.
I kind of like that Jen blows off other things that she should be doing in order to email us, but go figure. Anyway, that being said, I'm sending this a bit later in the evening than I intended, so I hope you get it before you record.
Well,
We may have gotten it, but we're certainly not reading it until almost
Gulp.
2 months later. Work vital to the safety and security of this nation and all that. That's right, Master Chief
sure.
Jen. Thank you for your service.
thank you for your service.
Those weekly maintenance and repair spreadsheets don't compile themselves.
Ugh,
Amen.
lame.
Right? I'm so glad to hear Barb made it to California safely, and I hope she has a great time in Vegas. Kat, have you heard anything from Barb the Bison?
It's been radio silence actually from Barb.
Okay.
Ooh, I
Well,
hope she's okay. Sure.
she
You know
either-
what? Let me check in. I'm gonna check
Okay, yeah, do it. I don't. She might have either won huge or lost huge, and either way, we might not hear from her.
in. Yeah, ever
Yep.
again.
Yep. If I may, though, Barb, says Jen, you're just giving the house your money on those slot machines. Agreed. Go for the blackjack tables. Okay, I have an argument for that too, but let's continue.
Okay.
Your odds are much better. Good luck to her, and I can't wait for the next update. Fantastic. So, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into this because the email is not over. But blackjack definitely is better because you're not playing against the house. You're Actually, wait, no, you're playing against the dealer. So you
Yeah,
are still
it's the
playing against the
house,
house. And once upon a time, when they would only put 2 decks in the shoe, you could keep a count and you could affect your odds of winning. Nowadays, they'll put 6 decks in the shoe and change it out when they've gone 2 decks down. So
Yeah, good luck.
you're still not good. I would argue poker is the only one, because poker, you are not playing against the house. They take a rake no matter what, but you're
Right.
playing against the other people at the table,
The
and
other
they
dummies.
and you have just as much chance to win as do they. All right, so that was a long aside. I'm sorry, Master Chief
No,
Jen.
it's good advice.
All right, cool. Next paragraph. I was driving while listening to your most recent podcast, and I made the mistake of taking a sip of my water right as
no.
you read Sir AK's email. I almost spat it all over my steering wheel from laughing when they called me an idiot.
Glad you laughed.
I'm so glad, Jen, that you're attributing it to the correct person, because I'm almost certain if it's an AK email, I'm usually the one reading it. I'm glad that you didn't blame the messenger. You didn't kill the
course.
messenger in this
No,
case.
no.
So I almost spat. I almost spat it all over my steering wheel from laughing when they called me an idiot. Fair and accurate. Sir AK, fair and accurate.
Oh.
But hey, I may be an idiot, but I'm an idiot with a headband, Right?
That's true. And, Master Chief is referring to an episode she was featured on.
Indeed.
I guess at the beginning of the year, right?
I'm going to say it
End
might
of-
have even been
end
the
of-
end of last
yeah.
year.
While you look for that,
Okay.
Master Chief told us about a spicy tuna challenge at a Japanese restaurant in, I think it was South Carolina, wasn't it?
It was definitely in that area. It was episode
Charles.
177, Jen versus Food with Master Chief Jen.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. So there you go. So
There it is.
You can listen all about that story about how Jen got her very coveted headband.
Indeed. Indeed. But hey, I may be an idiot, but I'm an idiot with a headband. Go me. Also, I really should learn not to drink when listening to or being a guest on this podcast. There's a pattern of drinking near mishaps that needs to be broken.
Fair
Listen, everybody should know that typically we do, a bit of a bending of the elbow during the recording of this podcast.
Generally.
Generally, we do, and sometimes that's evident by the end of it. And that's one of the reasons why I typically have to listen to the podcast again before we put it out there, because I sometimes don't remember exactly what I've said. It's been a while since that's happened, but it was mostly our in-person things, I think.
That's true.
I ate a little bit too little pizza and drank a little bit too much Greyhound, perhaps.
Yeah.
But this is the My Mistake podcast fueled by alcohol. So Jen says, take care, and FMP, Master Chief Jen. Thank you, Master Chief Jen.
Thank you, Master Chief.
All right.
Love you, Jen.
Ditto.
Well, John, we have another email.
Yes.
This
that is my
from,
understanding.
This is from Tanya.
Right. Now, I
And
don't
I don't
believe we've
know
heard from Tanya
I
before.
don't know that we have. This
No.
might be a first-time emailer. Maybe they'll let us know for sure once we
Right.
read this email.
Indeed.
Tanya said, the subject is merch.
Okay.
And Tanya says, hey, Kat. Hey, John.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya. Salutations from the north. I hope you are both doing well. I'm greatly enjoying your podcast, but I have a burning question that must be addressed. Where's the merch? I've been cruising around the web in search of Bison Alert, John loves rim jobs, or something of the
Tanya,
like.
please.
Or something.
That was uncalled for.
Thank you, Tanya. Or something of the like, but to no avail. To be honest, I'm working through your back catalog, trying to catch up. So perhaps this has been rectified and merch is now available at a super secret web location.
It's so super secret, Tanya. It really is.
Oh, Tanya, you sweet, beautiful person. Tanya continues, is there an oath to be read before access is allowed? Is this
Yes.
like the Order of Turtles and we must answer some qualifying questions? What's the deal?
I mean, hey.
Who are these people? Tanya continues, this is serious, guys. John, stop laughing. This is serious.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
This is serious, guys. I need some swag to pair with my outburst of laughter at work. Thank you for producing this wondrous creation. It's like listening to pals.
Aw.
Tanya.
That's like Tanya
Well, that's
has
nice.
Yeah, Tanya has like hit some of the keywords for me, where it's like
Yeah.
they are laughing at our jokes. So outbursts
Love-
of laughter at work. Totally.
Love that.
Yep. And also wants to pay money for merch.
God bless them.
Yep. Indeed.
Well, to answer your question, Tanya, no, there is no super secret web location, although that is something we would do, is make it really difficult for people to find our merch.
We're allergic to money.
We just don't like
We
it.
don't like it.
It's a great question, and there are so many merch possibilities, honestly. Like, I feel at this point we have so many like inside jokey type things that we could have a pretty
Yep.
decent selection of merch.
There are a couple of outlets that we could look into. I'm just
There are
saying.
outlets. Yeah.
There are. places we could go. We would have limited income, but we would have zero exposure, as I know you're familiar with from past experience. Yeah.
But listen. Okay, I'm gonna say it, John.
Uh-oh.
Before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it's March.
It's March.
We're gonna have a merch store.
I love it. I love
It's gonna
it.
be a thing that we have.
And that's not me making that promise. So, like, Kat's promises are good as cash. Mine, they get washed away by the tide. It's just, it's a problem.
All right. Well, it's happening. That's good. That means I get to have a whole selection of John Loves Rim Jobs merch.
No. All right. I'm getting right on our Patreon, and I'm also going to set up our Twitch account for Fortnite.
No. Oh, yeah.
All that stuff is happening immediately.
But you know what, Tanya, thank you for the reminder. Thank you for a little kick in the ass there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for saying such nice things. And for just sending an email. Thank you.
Sending an
That's
email.
Awesome.
I don't know if people understand, Kat, what a big deal it is to get like an email. Because you get to the point after a while, it's like we can see how many downloads there are for an episode. We know there are tens of people out there listening to our podcast. But it is rare that we hear back from them. So, Tanya, thank you just for putting pen to paper or finger to keyboard. It is much appreciated.
We appreciate it so much. And we love all of our listeners, but we really love our listeners who send us emails.
We do indeed. We do.
So, I mean, John, if someone who isn't Master Chief Jen or Beck or Tanya, or any of the other amazing listeners who have sent us emails.
Right, who already clearly know what our email address is.
Yeah, how would someone new to sending us emails send us an email?
Well, Kat, they could send that email to mymistakepodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, that's awesome. That's like a whole thing that we've set up. So it's easy for people to send us emails. That's like such forward thinking.
It's almost like we took time and thought things out thoughtfully and made a plan for the future. Remember when we used to do that 3 years ago?
Yeah, I do. Feels like a long time ago.
It is. Other places where people can both find some content or add some content are our Facebook page, which is My Mistake the Podcast on Facebook. If you wanted to tweet at us or near us or about us, please make sure you include @MyMistake17.
Love that.
That is our Twitter handle.
Love that.
Every time I talk about our Instagram handle, I have to guess, but I believe it is My Mistake Podcast. There, you should be able to find it by searching, I would think.
Yeah, just do that. Just search a little.
Let's do that. Come on. We're not
Do a
asking
little bit of
lot.
work.
Yeah. And besides all of those things, if you don't really want to interact with us directly,
Yes.
a really great thing would be to leave a complimentary comment on the podcast app of your choosing, wherever you get your podcast, and give us a 5-star rating, because those things are like gold. You have no idea.
Really are.
Yeah. Yeah. And every time we get a new one, it's like a holiday around here. There's
It's a big deal.
confetti and colored lights. It all happens.
And if I may be so bold,
Please be so bold.
5 stars only.
Right.
If you're dissatisfied with us, send us an email. Let us know what
Tell
we
us
could be
what's
doing.
wrong.
Yeah, what's wrong? Hey, what's going on? What's wrong? How can we make your experience better?
Show us on the doll.
Save that for personal one-on-one interaction.
Right. Yeah.
Let us work on that 5-star for you. Don't
sure.
let's not
aspirational.
Let's not rush into
Right.
this,
No.
right?
Not at all.
So 5 stars only.
Indeed.
And if all of that is just too much, you can just subscribe to this podcast.
Right.
Just as the kids say, smash that subscribe button and we'll show up in your podcasting feed every week. And, listen, more of this incredible content that you've listened to this last hour or so. I mean, come on. I mean, you admit it. You love us.
You
Come
love
on.
us.
Come
If
on.
you're listening now, You totally love us. Like, because we talked about cars.
We
and we
did.
talked
Little car
about-
talk.
Yep. I think, yeah, car talk might be, I don't feel like anybody's trademarked that name. We could
No, that's really good, right?
start a podcast called Car Talk.
Yeah, let's talk about our Priuses.
Might have to move to Boston. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be a thing. So we have reached the time, I believe, now that we have pandered, and put it all
What
out
a
there.
journey, John. What a
We-
journey.
We're leaving it all on the stage, folks. It's like I got to wipe off my mic right now. That's
boy.
that's where we're at. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
And remember always to fuck Mike Pence.
FMP.